Welcome to Tunacheki's Africa in the News. This is Mekimushi, and this is a show where we look at how Western media news organizations cover Africa, where we counter all the propaganda, the false news, the false narratives, the misinformation, the fake news, and also the racism, and we try to set the record straight, okay? So in this episode, we are still covering Ethiopia and how the Western media news organizations have been having a coordinated attack on Ethiopia and the current situation, okay? So today something very important, and I think it's a historical thing happened in Africa, where the Ethiopian government is fighting back. Like this is a first in Africa where a government is fighting these Western media news organizations. So what happened was that the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia's media authority sent out warning letters to these media news organizations. So they sent out one to CNN, BBC, Reuters, and the Associated Press. Okay, so this is very important because it shows that the Ethiopian government is actively trying to fight back. It's actively trying to take back the narrative. It's actually trying to fight back the false reporting, the unfair reporting, the biased reporting that these media news organizations, which look coordinated, have been directing towards the country of Ethiopia and the Ethiopian people. Because the letter was issued to the four individual news organizations, we'll just sum it up into one and read the letter as if it was addressing all of them, okay? So this letter is addressed November 19th, 2021. It's addressed to CNN, Associated Press, BBC, and Reuters, and it is addressed to their Nairobi bureau. So the interesting thing is all these media news organizations are located in Nairobi, Kenya. I don't know why, if you're reporting in Ethiopia, why not be in Ethiopia and report the truth? Why are you reporting from another country, Nairobi, Kenya? And we did a video which our president, Uhuru Kenyatta, was actually complaining about the same thing. So if you're claiming to report news from a country, why not be there and report the news from that country? So the letter reads, the Ethiopian Media Authority, in issuing licenses for journalistic operations, expects reports not to endanger the Ethiopians' national interest, territorial integrity, or the peaceful coexistence of people of Ethiopia. Since the onset of the law enforcement operation in the northern Tigray region of Ethiopia by the federal government, the Ethiopian Media Authority has been monitoring numerous foreign media outlets, conducting a trend analysis on their reporting patterns on the issue. Unfortunately, the authority finds CNN, Associated Press, BBC, and Reuters as one of the mainstream news organizations that have consistently disseminated news that have sowed seeds of animosity among the people and compromised the sovereignty of the country. As covered in detail within this letter, the authority has identified some of the trends of media misconduct and shady reporting by CNN, Associated Press, BBC, and Reuters, which include: number one, manufacturing and dissemination of false news and news analysis on Ethiopia to assist the TPLF objectives. Number two, reporting the law enforcement operation as a genocidal campaign. Number three, reports undermining the government's effort to address the humanitarian crisis in the Tigray region. Number four, reporting that the government is using famine and rape as a weapon of war in the Tigray region. Number five, producing defamatory reports on the country's leading institutions. Number six, generating news seeking to discredit the country's leader in international arena and put the country under intense diplomatic pressure. The authority would like to bring you to notice that despite repeated attempts, formal and informal discussions to rectify journalistic misconduct of the news institutions, no significant change has been registered so far. Okay, the letter ends, given the authority's responsibility to protect the well-being of the Ethiopian people from the dissemination of unsubstantiated information, The authority hereby extends to your institutions a written warning with an understanding that in the absence of ethical and professional journalistic operation, the authority will be compelled to revoke the license granted to your institutions to operate in Ethiopia. The letter is signed sincerely Mohammed Idris Mohammed, Director General. So this letter also had it enclosed media monitoring findings. They put evidence that showed the false reporting, the fake news. Also, the news supporting the TPLF rebel group are currently fighting the Ethiopian government. Okay? So this is a letter, and we've been saying it for years. We've been saying it since 2016 that Western media news organizations are not to be trusted. If you're African, you have no business watching CNN, watching BBC, reading Reuters, watching Al Jazeera. You have no business watching these things. Please keep it African and don't be confused by BBC Africa. And as I keep repeating in almost every video that I do in this episode, there's nothing African about BBC Africa. There's nothing African about CNN Africa. Okay, so make sure to not be deceived. Make sure to get your news from your local content creator. Make sure to get your news from your local media news organization. Okay, please, we urge you this. So what does this letter mean? It means for the first time, Africa is fighting back. Okay, so this is my personal opinion. We can discuss it in the comments. So Africa needs to treat Western media news organizations, all of them, the same way China treats the Western media news organizations, right? Like China really does not play with these guys, okay? It avoids any reporting of fake news, misconceptions, political attacks on China. And look at it, China is doing really good for itself. China is currently the world's richest country. It surpassed the United States this month or last month. I'm not sure when exactly, but currently, right now, China is the richest country in the world, and it did that by taking its own narrative, right? It did that by not depending on other people to tell its story, right? Be it our grievances with China, like as a channel, and how like what they are also doing in Africa, right? We have to applaud them for how they've taken back the narrative, and Africa really needs to follow that model that the Chinese used to take back their story, take back the African story, right? Take back our dignity, take back our culture, and take back our own stories. Let us tell the people what we want them to hear about us. Let's not let these foreign journalists, and if you've been also watching the news, these white African experts, like they come and talk about Ethiopia, they come and talk about Nigeria, they come and talk about like Liberia, like they are Liberia's mother or Liberia's father. Like I don't know. This always boggles my mind how like a white person who's been to the country maybe like 5 years is an expert on a country. Okay, so here is a suggestion to BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera. Next time you have an expert on Ethiopia or Kenya, please make sure he is actually Ethiopian or Kenyan with credentials, okay? Not some random white person with no credentials, which is currently the status quo for all these media news organizations, okay? So with that said, we will link these documents so you can have a read on your own, and we will keep following up and updating you on the current Ethiopia issue. So, and we would recommend you to join the No More campaign. Okay? Join the No More campaign. Africa Unite, because an attack on Ethiopia is an attack on Africa. An attack on Ethiopia is an attack on Panafricanism. An attack on Ethiopia is an attack for a chance for Africa in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years to be united. If Ethiopia goes down, and mark my word, if Ethiopia goes down, the amber of one united Africa will go down with it. Okay? As Uhuru Kenyatta said in a recent speech that we'll cover soon, like Ethiopia is our mother. Ethiopia is the mother of Africa. So, as we said, join the No More campaign. The No More campaign is a peaceful campaign that says no more of this false Western media news reports on Africa, like no more of war, like no more war, no more conflict, no more misrepresentation of Africa, like no more Western interference in Africa. Okay, so just say no more, tweet it, do this, record a video, share it, and we'll also share it on our Twitter, our social medias. Okay, so thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. It really helps us a lot, and always make sure to like. That's how YouTube will know this is a good video to recommend to your friends who think alike, who like African content. Okay, so without further ado, this is Mikey Mushi. We'll check you out, and always remember, Africa is watching.